So today we're going to be looking at ticker symbol BABA for Alibaba Group. There seems to be very good news considering this stock has slightly bottomed out at around the two. Actually, it has broken the 200 price tag just a couple of days ago, but since then we have been kind of trailing up this yellow trend line that I added a little while ago, and I haven't really adjusted any of these trend lines. But since then, we've had some good positive news. Charlie Munger has included Baba into his portfolio. He has bought around $37 million dollars worth of Baba Group shares. The PE ratio looks very, very interesting, and it seems to be, um, or will be, or continue to also be a trending stock for the next couple of days. So we could see some very good price action within the Baba Group if you are interested in trading this stock, if not even holding it um, for long-term gains possibly, just because of how well Baba Group is doing in China as an international logistics and delivery platform, shopping, that whole sort of buying in bulks scenario. And there doesn't seem to be many players uh, in this sort of business. You know, there's not many websites which you can go to where you can buy in bulk directly from businesses or from the manufacturers like Baba Group is doing. So competition is very, very low. Uh, their um, their revenue has been growing as well. This past year has been very, very successful for Baba as well. There was a little bit of controversy with Jack Ma, but I think all of that is sort of left behind now, and confidence is coming back into the Baba Group. Now, if we're to look at this price point now, we're looking at price levels back around mid 2018 levels. So looks very attractive to me as a investor. So I've been actually following this. I was wondering if it would bottom out a little bit more, maybe around the 160. But since then, my trend line has been very, very good. My thesis has been sort of confirmed, it bouncing off of this trend line. So we can sort of in the future also see it bouncing off of this trend line, reaching the highs of $319. But I'm more interested in seeing around a break of $269 first. That would be very, very attractive. Um, let's go ahead, throw up some indicators, stochastic, RSI. We can also look at a little bit of the volume. Now, this is going to take up a little bit of the space, but since then, some good volume is coming in. The stochastic has sort of bottomed out. RSI has bottomed out, and possibly in the oversold territory, if not just touching the oversold. And from this point, we can sort of expect a nice trend upwards for this stock. So I am looking to open up a position in around the 205, 215 area, and then continue to add possibly as the stock grows. It seems to be a very, very good purchase at this price, and it also gives me more confidence when great investors like Charlie Munger, other individuals start to open up positions as well. That always increases the confidence and my thesis within this group. Let's go ahead and see if we can see if there's any good news besides the Charlie Munger for Baba Group. Let's go ahead, BABA. Now, some interesting levels about Baba, which I also want to go into before we go into the news, is that its market cap obviously 572 billion. Its PE ratio is 24.77, which is very it's very good in that sort of sense. Majority of stocks trading on Nasdaq have a very, very high PE ratio. One of the stocks which I was in, obviously this is a little bit different to Baba, but what it was SQ. I was buying at 240. Since then, I have closed my position. I took my profits, and now still trading at a very high PE ratio of 354. But this is expected for growth companies. Now, Baba seems to be very interesting because its PE ratio is only 24.77. Um, Before the look, Giant Pension sold Alibaba, Palantir, and GameStop. Here, what he bought. So, stock index Giant MSI tracking. So, this seems to be Alibaba is living to Cambridge Analytica. Investor must control their emotions. Um so there was a operating loss as a public company following the 2.8 billion antitrust fine, but since then I think the government will be backing Baba because it is one of the biggest players in China as a business, as a tech business, and obviously I would expect for China and its counterparts to support this business. So this 2.8 billion dollar fine. Um, um, uh, might not really affect it too much now. We can see a revenue growth of year over year for 63.93%. Their net income was diluted. Obviously, this fine was also included in this, I'm guessing. And EPS and stuff, Q4 was missed by 2021, but now the Q3, Q Q1 estimates were Q2 and Q3 of 2021. Um, we're thinking Q4 was missed by 9.44%, was reported, expected was 11, surprise of 9.4. So revenue was still up a little, 3.94%. Um, and the revenue of expected was 216, reported was 221 billion, surprise of 2.2%, around 2%. So right now there doesn't seem to be much new. I want to see what sort of news. Yeah, there we go. Let's go ahead and see investor place. Is it time to buy? Um, has caught the eye of scandal involving its users of China cracking down on its cloud emperors. The company even suffered a loss. The Baba stock price hit a peak of almost $310. Uh, he found the loss was entirely due to the fine of the 2.8 billion imposed by the mandarins in Beijing. So that loss was entirely due to that fine. They have paid that fine, and I think businesses will very quickly will be back to use of the owners of TikTok to take its non-China business out of Alibaba's cloud meant growth there fell. So another big effect was ByteDance, owners of TikTok. They have since uh, they're not using Alibaba's cloud, and that also affected their business. But Baba's stock now sells at 5.5 revenue compared to 3.8 for Amazon's Concurred, but Baba doesn't buy the goods, selling it merely as obscure plow. Whether Alibaba is cheap depends entirely on the government of China has been on the warpath. Um, so this investor play seems to be very neutral, slightly about Baba Group because the Chinese government has plays a big role now in Baba Group. They impose those fines and stuff. But because there are not many major players doing what sort of Alibaba is doing, we know that it's direct competition. AliExpress, which is obviously direct to consumer, if you're buying single use items. But Alibaba is bulk items where a person is purchasing more than possibly 10, 20 for after sale purchases as well. There are not many players that I know of, which are successful in this business. Even if I'm to do business, I have actually used Baba Group and as well to at least to get some good pricing on how competitive product pricing can be. And Baba seems to be doing very, very well. Uh, Seeking Alpha, best deal in town. 190. I should have actually purchased, opened up the position at that 190 mark, but I was getting very confused with all of this interest rates and the market crash. You sort of tend to evaluate how much the market can bottom out. This seems very interesting. Alibaba's reward worth risk. So 1 week ago, obviously, was I think around that at a break of $200, and since then it's bouncing back up. So I think investors will be coming back into Baba just because of how interesting it is. Now we're gonna look into the 3 month chart. Let's see where we stand. We're gonna zoom this out a little bit. Let's make these charts a little bit more attractive. So since then, this yellow trend line seems to be very attractive, bouncing just off of this trend line. We saw a low of 206. So since then, not too bad. We are, this trend line was slightly broken, but since then, kind of bouncing off of this, and I think this trend will continue. So I will be opening up a position with Baba Group today, either at the start of the market or possibly the end of the market, but most likely in the start of the market. And this will be a long-term hold for me. If not a long, slightly, if I do tend to swing trade this, obviously I'll be looking at the highs to see where I can get the best value for money, and obviously take profits. Again, it's very important for you guys to do your due diligence before entering any trades. It's important for you guys to look at the news, to look at any catalysts, the sort of things which I sort of explain in my videos. Now, I do entirely make these videos for my personal, for my personal self, for my trading knowledge, and to be a better investor. So it's not something that you should be going off of. This is just information that I use for myself, which I upload onto YouTube, just for people to use as a knowledge, as as quick trading uh, information for myself. So hopefully you can learn from this. Maybe use some of this information for your trades, and if you do that, it will be great for you to comment, possibly even subscribe to my channel. This helps out with all the algorithms and stuff. But that is always a very, very good thing to know when people are subscribed and commenting on your videos. So make sure to do that. If you want me to analyze any companies, make sure just to leave them in the comment section. I'll try to get those out as soon as possible. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.